If you are working with a vintage dresser, there's a good chance you might find a broken metal track. This used to have, actually the bend part is still here on the end. This used to be one piece. It wrapped from there to there, and that is broken. Also, up on the top end, this used to have screw holes in it like this one, and they are gone. So these are really hard to find. I've actually yet to find them. So I came up with a way to fix them that has worked really well. This is perforated metal plumber's tape. It's used to hang pipes when doing plumbing, but this works great for this. So you can find this at a hardware store, Lowe's, or order it online. So here's what you do. We want to have something that attaches the screw both here and something that wraps around here like it used to. So the plumber's tape will fit down in the bottom of the track. You take this end and bend it up, and there's your screw hole. This end at the bottom, you're going to bend it over, and I'm going to put 2 screw holes there. So the first thing you have to do is straighten out your plumber's tape as much as you can, because it's been on a roll, so it's not all the way flat. Once you straighten it out, get your bends. And all of this is sharp. You will cut yourself on many things here. These edges are sharp. These edges are sharp, and don't stick your finger down in here to try to make this flat, because chances are you will cut it on one of the sides of this track. Plumber's tape has 2 sizes of holes in it, so when you're placing your plumber's tape inside of your drawer guide, make sure that the part that meets the front of the drawer has a small screw hole. On the back, same thing, make sure you have a usable small screw hole. If you can only, for some reason, use a large hole like this, there is a way to do it with a washer. Once you have it bent to fit, I'm going to cut it below where there are 2 screw holes. There's one there I'm not going to use. I'm going to use these 2, 1, 2. So I'm going to cut it there. The best thing to use is tin snips. There's probably some other things you could use, a hacksaw, and if you don't have a cutting tool, you can take a pair of pliers and bend the metal back and forth, and when you do it enough times, it will break like that. So no need to go buy tools if you don't already have them. Just use a pair of pliers. So there's going to be our fit there. Before I attach this though, I want to put a glue down the middle of this track to this that is made for metal. The best thing to use is 2-part epoxy that is made for metal, because it is the strongest and it will hold better than a regular glue. This is a glue that's made for metal, that being said. So run a bead of glue down the middle of the track. Put my metal back in. Once you put the glue in and the metal piece on top, use your stick to press it down and make sure there's not too much excess glue poking through the holes. If there is, use your stick and a rag to run along the top of it so that you don't glue your stick to the bottom of your drawer. So, for this to have good adhesion, these 2 pieces need to be held together well. You can take, if you have clamps, you can use clamps. I'm going to use a piece of wood. A paint stir stick does the same thing as this does. The reason that we're taping or clamping this is because we want to hold these 2 pieces together while they dry. And if you don't do this, they will separate somewhat and you will not get nearly as good of adhesion. So I've taped this down so it pushes the two pieces together, and depending on what glue you used, look and see how long it will take to dry, and let it dry the full time. The quickest way and easiest way to do this, if you get a fast drying epoxy with a 3-minute dry time, for instance, you could sit and hold a piece of wood against this for that 3 minutes and you would be done with that part. You wouldn't have to tape it or worry about that. So that really is the best option for this. Okay, so here are two of the rails I'm fixing today. I did one with the tape and stick method and one with the clamps. So we will let it dry and come back for the next step. If you somehow find yourself in the position that you can use nothing but the large holes in the back, you just need to put a washer that looks like this over that and then put the screw in, and that will hold that. Once your drawer guide is attached, I recommend that you run a bead of liquid nails or adhesive caulk down here and down here, because anything you can do to keep this in place and give it more strength to not break again is a good thing. Let your liquid nails or adhesive caulk dry all the way before you put this drawer back into the dresser. Well, I got caught by a pop-up storm, so we're going to move this inside. Before you put your drawer back in, look inside at your rail, and I'm going to sand off a small amount of this. It's usually chewed up from the rail not working right or coming off, as you can see this is. So I'm going to sand it smooth. I'll show you what it looks like. This is one that I already sanded, so you can see the difference between these two. That's nice and smooth and flat, and this one is not. So in order to make this work, you need to sand some of it off, not just because it's chewed up, because we have added a little bit of height by putting that other metal piece in, so we need to compensate for that by taking a little bit of this off. You can use an electric sander, or you can use regular sandpaper. After you sand it, take some 3-in-1 oil or WD-40. I like this because I can put it only where I want it. These are the two contact places that will hit that track. So I want a little to drip over the edges here, so I put a little extra on there. I'm going to do the same thing on the drawer track and put some on both sides. You can also use candle wax for this, but 3-in-1 oil is my favorite. Okay, here's our defining moment. Yay! So there you go. How to replace a metal drawer guide. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and check back often. I put up new videos all the time. Thank you.